Uncle Guido here, back at ya. Let's see, today we're just totally winging it once again. Oh, the stereo's on. Anyway, we're winging it. We need to cover some ground on some interlocking topics that go back and forth with numerology, astrology, and tarot. And remember, working on our spiritual tan, the three tools that I use are tarot, astrology, and numerology to help you bring your mind into a headspace where the two hemispheres of the brain begin to interact with one another, opening your consciousness to a wider bandwidth of perceptibility of the world that is out there, of the real world that's out there. Man's world is this little box of definitions and language that they have given to you to tell you what's going on around you, handed down through tribal custom, religious experience, family, education, all these things heaped upon you, and you're trained like a good little monkey to regurgitate the right answers and be patted on the head so that you can move forward within the society and glean and gain all the little toys and tchotchkes and rewards that man's world has to give. Well, that's all been fine and dandy for a while, you know, and there was a lot to learn there. And as far as the progress of the human spirit goes, coming down into this material reality from a spiritual reality, remember, coming down, remember our numerology, those first four numbers describe the process of coming down into the physicality to play with the little Play-Doh matter, making little things and all this, that, and the other. So, numerology, real quickly. 1, beginning. 2, choices. 3, creativity. 4, work, structure, government. 5, change, higher mind, freedom. 6, relationships. 7, spirituality, going within. 8, coming out and manifesting on an even higher level. 9, wisdom. The old hermit shining the lamp of illumination, just like Uncle Guido here for y'all's elucidation of education into my own interpretation of the way things should be, at least as far as I can see, that I want to share with thee, Uncle Guido here, okay? So if you remember, we've just come through some basic lessons on numerology. And then we talked a little bit about time and how we can manipulate what some people think is the fourth dimension, but it's not. But time is an element of this process that we have here. And I'd just like to quote from my good friend Terence McKenna, "The jiffy defines the grain of the canvas on which reality is projected." The jiffy. So in just a jiffy here, we're going to kind of take a pause from numerology, even though numerology and tarot go hand in hand, and we're going to look at some of the aspects of the tarot major arcana because they are so important as you decode numerology to take these pictures right here, these pictures, the Fool. Uncle Guido loves this card. I embody this card. I am the Fool. Anyway, the tarot, the archetypes and pictures of the tarot give you so many clues as to the process of the soul coming into physicality and going through all this, that, and the other thing, and finally graduating to be on the path of reawakening to its unlimited capacity as a part of the universe, the mind of God, the all that is, the Allah. Okay? I would like to read to you a quote that I put in the book, Numerology, The Lost Keys to Creation. This is from my teacher. This is a quote here, And this really kind of sums up these three tools that I'm trying to bring to you to help you, like I said, integrate the two hemispheres of the mind so that not only your logical, rational dealing with the world center is functioning highly, but that you reactivate and utilize the intuitive side, the yin side of your mind. And these are two keys. The intuitive side is where the creativity comes through, and it comes through from a universal mind that we can tap into like an internet, but it's the internet that we tap into. We go within, and all knowledge is there for us to retrieve. So all of these lessons are baby steps trying to train you to get back to the place where you can start to look at the world a little differently, start to widen the bandwidth of your perception. Okay, so here's the quote from my teacher, Jean Morse, in Salem, Oregon, from 1984. I studied with her in 1990 for several years, okay? Astrology is the golden key that unlocks the forces of the stars and the sun and the planetary energies moving around it. Numerology is the silver key that unlocks the forces of the soul and consciousness. Astrology and numerology, two separate forces, can work out anything in the universe. Through these tools, you can decode all sorts of information. You can see things coming at you. You can see patterns. You can see weaknesses. You can see strengths. You can see where harmony and balance needs to come into the flow. Last part of the quote. The Tarot is the blending of the keys. This was from my teacher, Jean Morse, 1984. Anyway, what I want to talk about here, we want to overlap these ideas. And on our next show, we're going to get into a little bit of basic astrology. And each one of these pictures here indicates an archetype of energy that you can relate to whether or not that you know what it means. You look at a picture and you get impressions and you start formulating stories within your own mind. So the Fool is the soul before incarnating, and it comes into this plane of existence from spirituality into physicality. And it says on the other side, I'm going to go down to earth, I'm going to have a great old time, I'm going to kick some ass, I'm going to learn this lesson, that lesson, I'm going to really excel and expand my spiritual growth down on earth, because earth is one of the toughest schools there is. You get down here, you don't know a thing, the veil drops over your head, boom, 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 and it's real, and it hurts when you bunk your head, and it's good when, you know, think of all the good things that come your way, and it's beautiful. So it's really this magnificent place. So here's the zero idea on the other side, the magical thing, and he wants to come into earth, and boom, he comes to earth. And he says, I am here to command the four elements. And that's what the magician does. And notice he's got a lemniscate over his head there. That is the symbol of infinity, and it is an infinite possibility to which you can endeavor once you open your mind to the possibility of your unlimited capacities. Man's world likes to say, oh, no, 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 Uncle Guido, don't be such a psychobabblist, you know, leading these people on thinking they can do things like Harry Potter and whatnot. Get a job, cut your hair. Anyway, I'm telling you, we are at the gate of something big happening. This old paradigm's been going on for thousands of years under the direct control of the male. Now here's the balanced male who knows how to wield power, the old magician there. You are the magician. You are the crown of creation. I'm going back over these old lessons, okay? You wield the four elements. If you were Chinese, maybe you'd wield 5 elements. Anyway, this is the beginning. Number 1, all of the energies of the numerological 1, right here, summed up in this picture. Boom! Spirit comes into matter. Matter says, let's get things going. I want to go play over here and ride the roller coaster at Elitch's or something, you know. And then it says, but I want somebody to share it with. So it's split off, and we have all these biblical stories how God took a rib out of Adam's thing and he made a woman. So the second thing that happened after the male principle, the action, the doing, and all that sort of thing, we have the female principle, and she's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I want to make some choices. I want to reunite. I don't want to be divided into portions and definitions and languages. So this is where the veil drops over your consciousness, because you've got to come in here blind and make your blind choices and see what the ramifications of those things and create the third car. You put a male into a female, something's created, huh? Right? We talked about that. Anyway, here's the abundance of this plane of creativity. And the secret of this plane of creativity is that the universe is conspiring to shower you in goodness. It says, what? You need to work on this? Okay, let me send that to you. You are a gigantic magnet projecting your conscious and subconscious. Now the conscious is only about 10%. Remember they always told you only use 10% of your brain? Your subconscious, 90% of the time, is telling the universe this, that, or the other thing. The family story, the religious story, the societal story, the school story, the fear story, the, oh, I'm great, or, oh, I'm not so great, or, oh, I'm somewhere in between, I vacillate back and forth, I can't get anything straight. So, you know, the universe just says, okay, whatever, man. I'm going to magnetize, send it your way. You play with it, you figure it out, okay? Once you do that, once you make some choices, remember your numerology, you create, and then you do the work. You say, okay, I'm going to plant this garden. I'm going to plant some seeds. I'm going to till some soil. I'm going to go. So, Bobby, was that, I got 2 minutes left? Wow, this went quick. All right, we're going to get going. We're going to have to do a two-parter on this one. The old emperor is what we are dealing with, and this is the paradigm of the universe that has to break down and come back into a more nurturing, feminine, intuitive, balanced male situation so that we can work in harmony with the universe, with the energies of cooperation, of sharing, of the tribe, of everybody being a part of the equation instead of just few. This old emperor, it's time for him to go. And I'm going to wind up my message here on this. This is definitely going to be a 2 or 3-parter as we go through these major arcana basics on the fool's journey down into physicality through these ideas and these lessons. This is just the basics right here. This is nothing. When you awaken to your spiritual self inside, it gets really hairball. There's so much detritus that you need to sift through, so many layers of the onion you need to pull away, so much awakening that will come, and it comes in layers over and over. So old Uncle Guido's here to help you gently peel the onion. And so I say to you, Uncle Guido, over and out. I'll be back.